Hey, Phil here. Thanks for watching. In my last video, I showed a lot of different guitars that I had made. Well, guitar bodies, anyhow. And there were two guitars. Well, there's still two guitars. One of them's at my brother's house, the black one. And the other one I showed you was on this body. And I decided I wanted to see how the new body performs. Now, in order to test out the body, you have to have the other guitar parts to make it complete, of course. And so what I found is the most economical way to go about this is look on Facebook Marketplace, look on Craigslist, and find a Squier Strat. They're all over the place. They're cheap. They're easy to work on, and they fit. Now, the only thing that doesn't fit from a Squier is the bridge. But I've got another guitar design that'll take a Squier size bridge, but I don't want that. I want one that's more of a standard size for one you would find made in Mexico, made in America. Anyway, this is the guitar. I'm stuck. The strap got stuck on the armrest. There we go. Okay, so this is it. I showed this in the last video, but here it is complete. It's got all the same stuff that was on the other one, with two exceptions. Number one, this is shielding tape. It blocks out the electrical interference that from the amplifier. So I've shielded it. You can't see it, of course, because it's underneath the pickguard. If the light catches just right, there's a little sliver of it there I haven't trimmed off. The other thing in the back, see that little doodad between the springs? That's made by Music Lily. That is a tremolo stabilizer. And I've got to say, the thing, it stays in tune much better. And I don't know if it's the trem stabilizer. I don't know if it's the body. I think the body is a way better design, so it might be a combination of both. Anyway, it plays well. I cannot complain about how it plays at all. And I'm excited to go on to the next step. Now, I'm doing another one in black right now. And you can see there's a problem. There's a gap right there. That gap is because I went a little overboard when I was tooling it and getting the burrs off, and I ended up taking off some of the surface of it, leaving a gap. Not a big deal. I'll just reprint those parts. But none of this has been glued. This is just pounded into place. Now, these two, I didn't really do much to it all. I just kind of took my little rubber mallet and pounded them in through the dovetail joints, and they fit together really well. You can see there's a little bad spot there, but I don't think that's going to cause any kind of problem. Again, these are prototypes. I'm just trying to get it to where I eventually want the guitar to be in my vision. Now, my vision is I want it to look like they looked in the 50s. Now, in the 50s, and I think even into the 60s, if you were buying a Fender Stratocaster from the factory, you could order it in whatever color the car manufacturers offered their cars in. So you would say, okay, I would like a 1959 red on my Fender Stratocaster. And, you know, as they were building it, when they get paint, they'd get it from wherever the auto suppliers get their paint, and they would color match it, which I think is a really cool idea. And I think that'd be cool if they still did that, because there's a red that Mazda has that I think is really sharp. But anyway, for my guitar, this is the color, this mint green. That's what I'm going for, mint green. And we're going to go with the tortoiseshell pickguard. I don't have the neck yet, but I want a neck that it's going to be. You see how this has the rosewood fingerboard and the neck is maple? I want one that's maple all the way, but I don't necessarily want it lightly colored. I want one that maybe has a little bit of stain to it, but I really want to see that wood grain. I think that's going to be a really good look. So I'm getting closer with every guitar body I make, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So my tip would be, if you want to get into 3D printing guitars, you're going to go through a lot of filament, and that's okay, because in the grand scheme, the filament isn't that expensive. But don't be afraid to experiment, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to want to redo stuff, and that's okay, because it's all part of the learning process. It's part of the design process. You're gonna do stuff that you decide, oh, that isn't a good idea, or you come across something, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to incorporate it to the next one. So every single guitar that I've made has been better in some way than the way before. So I figure the more I do this, the better they're going to get. And I know I've got a lot to learn. And here's the other thing that's kind of neat. I'm working with pretty much entry-level 3D printers here. 3D printing has gotten so much more accessible than it was 5 years ago, especially 10 years ago. And you can get a new printer, a couple $100 over at Micro Center or wherever you get your electronics and that kind of stuff. And they're getting easier to use. These that I have, these are Ender 3 V3 KEs, and what's really cool about these, they have automatic bed leveling, and that's something that I don't think you would find on a printer at this price point, just a few years back. So as time goes on, I think you're going to see these printers get less and less expensive and easier to use. And really, your only limitation is going to be your imagination. So if this is something you're interested in, have fun with it, and there'll be times where it's frustrating, but it's all part of the learning process, and it doesn't take long to get really good. I've been at this for less than 2 years. I know I have a lot to learn, but I've come a long way, and if this is something you want to do, I'm sure you can too. So thanks for watching. This is Phil. Have a great day.